Hey, what's up, guys? Richard here, back with Cosmic Human Design and another episode of our I Ching Oracle the Cosmic Way series. I'm going through all 64 hexagrams here of this new version of the I Ching, which, if you've been following this series, is really quite remarkable, the information it contains. And here we are on hexagram 55 today, and you know, this is one of the, in my opinion, one of the more feel-good hexagrams. Abundance, it's called. So let's get right into it. Abundance is thunder over fire, chin over Lee. The judgment. Abundance has success. The king attains abundance. Be not sad. Be like the sun at midday. This hexagram shows the difference between abundance as a cosmic principle and abundance as defined by the collective ego. Cosmic abundance refers to a variety of things: abundance of caring feelings, abundance of prosperity and progress, abundance in regard to life and its limitlessness, abundance in the forms in which life takes place, whether they be visible or invisible, abundance in caring, help, and nourishment for all the needs of life, abundance in our cosmic possessions, abundance in help to bring us back into unity with the cosmic whole, abundance of gifts such as the gift of love, abundance in cosmic patience with humans. Thank you for that one. Thank you, Cosmos. Abundance of space for creativity, such as for the expression of life, abundance both of inner and outer space, abundance of space for evolving our consciousness, abundance in the sage's teachings, and abundance of health. Unlike the conventional idea of abundance, cosmic abundance is in a dimension to which linear and cyclical limitations do not apply. It is not followed by times of lack or decay because the abundance is continually ensured through transformations. The collective ego defines abundance solely in terms of what a person possesses on the outer plane. Typically, this kind of abundance is the result of the human-centered view that nature and all things in the universe are there to serve humans. In this view, abundance means power and influence, titles, wealth, possessions, knowledge, wisdom, public recognition, rights and privileges, and the right for a person to believe anything he chooses and to do anything he can amass the power to do. Even this view is ironic because, as history shows, abundance in all these things is inextricably dependent upon a hierarchical ordering of society, meaning that abundance is available only for the few at the top at the expense of the people at the bottom. This abundance creates an overabundance in the human population, which is necessary to uphold abundance at the top. Therefore, it also creates an abundance of poverty, sickness, perversion of natural values, and damage to nature and the natural order. Necessary to the system are an abundance of mistaken ideas about the cosmic way, an abundance of fears and fantasies, and an abundance of human power, arrogance, and ignorance to keep the system under control. The image connected with this abundance is power expressed as culture at its height. History characteristically attributes all the great achievements of culture to humans and ties them especially to the most powerful regimes. What is omitted from this description is the fact that every significant achievement is a gift of the cosmos. Discoveries such as penicillin are a case in point. The discovery came entirely as a laboratory accident. Nevertheless, the man who was working on the project was subsequently honored with a Nobel Prize for the discovery. The I Ching makes us aware that in all such cases where the person has claimed the achievement for himself, the good effect of the discovery gradually dissipates. Penicillin was one of those nature's helpers that, through being treated wrongly, has waned in its overall effectiveness because the helpers have gradually retreated from it. When, however, an individual asks the helpers to help him when applying the remedy, they return for him. While the collective ego would say abundance in terms of possessions, power, etc. is the measure of success, we are guided to see that the words abundance has success refer to an attitude that leads to success. True modesty is the attitude that constantly draws the help of the helpers. The consequence is the abundance of gifts the helpers bring. Modesty occurs when a person recognizes the beneficial nature of the cosmos and the fact that all the gifts and blessings of his life come from that source. This attitude is attained when a person rids himself of all of the mistaken ideas of what abundance is and how it comes about. He also needs to delete from his inner program, and we are, remember, talking about a program here, an ego program, negative phrases and images that block abundance, such as, there is nothing but poverty in the world. Life is hard. Abundance cannot be for everyone. Abundance does not last. It's a jungle out there. It's a dog-eat-dog world. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. It is easier to pass a camel through the eye of a needle than that a rich man may enter the kingdom of heaven. To be spiritual is to be poor, etc. The king attains abundance reflects the feudal view that abundance is for the rich and powerful. This view makes poor people believe that they are not meant to have abundance and to accept the phrase, that's the way things are. Be not sad can be the consoling phrase of the collective ego, with the implication being, you will get your reward in the afterlife. Such phrases, which accept poverty as one's natural condition, disable the helpers, so that the phrases become self-fulfilling prophecies. When not inhibited by mistaken ideas, the caring nature of the cosmos would have us live in abundance, having all we need for our well-being. When we recognize that being fulfilled has to do with a healthy relationship with nature and the cosmos, which also provides us with nourishment, help, and protection, and also material possessions in abundance, a feeling of self-worth and a recognition of the greatness that lies in small things, there is no need for greed, the building up of large funds for security, our display of possessions, power over others, or for protection by security systems. A person who focuses on these things is unaware of the continuous fates he is creating, the purpose of which is to rob him of what he has actually stolen from nature and from the cosmos by acting upon his human-centered view. Be not sad, be like the sun at midday can also be the words of the sage, telling us that although things look bleak at the moment, we're on the way to abundance due to the help of the helpers. Spells connected with this hexagram are created by phrases implying an acceptance of the inevitability of poverty, bad health, mistreatment by others, or any other negative condition. Such phrases and beliefs shut out the help available from the helpers. This hexagram tells him that by deleting these spells, he will experience abundance as freedom from those conditions. The hexagram also counsels that a person is not meant to meekly accept his fate, but rather to understand its lessons and thereby free himself from it. All fates can be extinguished. Line 1. When a man meets his destined ruler, they can be together 10 days, and it is not a mistake. Going meets with recognition. The ruler in this line can refer either to the cosmic consciousness or to the collective ego. The line is saying that when a person is in harmony with the cosmos, he experiences all things as abundance. He is nourished by the beauty of the flower, the light of the sun, the refreshment of the rain, and when deprived of these, is able to hear the inner music of the heart. When he is in this state of inner harmony, help pours in from the cosmos. When a person is in unity with the cosmic consciousness, he is subject to a different realm of time, which is unlimited in nature. 10 days expresses this relative quality and says that abundance depends on the person's remaining in harmony. For when he listens to the ego's whisperings, he allows it to appropriate to its glorification what has been received. This initiates the eclipse described in the following lines, causing the person to lose all he has gained. The words "it is not a mistake" refer to his vigilance to quell these attempts by the ego at their onset. He does not wait a whole day, as is put in hexagram 16, enthusiasm, line 2. When the line refers to the collective ego, the reference to 10 days is to the time limit put upon the success a person gains through following its ways. It points to the inevitable fall that follows upon every rise. For example, the fall of the ancient empires and their leaders, Rome, the fall of modern dictators, Napoleon, Hitler, Stalin, the fall of the great republics, or the decline of rich families, making the point that everything that depends on the collective ego is ephemeral in its success. Because of the relativity of cosmic time, this line points to the idea of immortality as falsely implying the existence of mortality. In turn, mortality defines life's purpose in terms of greatness or insignificance. All these ideas cast a melancholic light on life that stops its abundance. Going meets with recognition refers to one who has the hidden desire to fulfill the collective ego's idea that immortality is achieved through doing deeds that cause one to, quote, go down in history. Receiving this line can also point to phrases about what makes a person great. Examples are, hard work is the path to greatness, and he that serves the greater glory of God will himself be made great. Saying the inner no to such phrases frees the psyche of them and reunifies one with the cosmos. Line 2. The curtain is of such fullness that the pole stars can be seen at noon. If one rouses him through truth, clarity comes. The curtain refers to the darkening effect of a solar eclipse. It is so complete that the stars of the Dipper can be seen at noon. The picture is a metaphor of a complete misunderstanding. This line calls attention to the chief cause of misunderstanding, the false use of language, which creates misunderstandings about life and the cosmic way. The curtain is a metaphor for the veil that is drawn over the cosmic truths by mistaken beliefs and their expression through language. The false use of language starts with words that have come from thinking, which is not based on feeling. Such words are removed from the specific to the abstract, from practical everyday life to the clouds. The resulting misunderstandings eclipse common sense, creating a reverse world. Language is meant to express the feelings of inner truth, which is in harmony with the cosmic truths. False words divert the person to considering the ego's endless rationales that support its lifeless abstractions. An example is the way the collective ego flatters and then harnesses the intuitive mind to create and maintain the myths which support its dominance. The legendary emperor Fu Si, monumentalized as the creator of culture due to his having invented fishing, agriculture, and the I Ching, is an example. The myth served both to elevate humans over other creatures due to their cultural achievements and to justify the need for rulers, and thus the feudal system itself. Through such myth-making, language has been perverted, blocking its true function to express inner truth. If one rouses him through truth, is speaking of a person who is under the spell of myths. It is saying that an opening can be created in his understanding. If another asks for the sage in his presence to intervene and make him realize that all the conventional answers given him by his beliefs have not provided him with the real help he needs, it makes him ready to hear his own inner truth and to engage with the feeling intelligence of the sage, which harmonizes with his own common sense. The current can also refer to prejudices a person has. For example, about what is ancient, i.e., he may regard the I Ching as a pure source of wisdom just because it is ancient. His awe prevents him from benefiting from the help it can give, even though he uses the RTCM to clarify the intended meaning with the sage. The current refers to the pedestal on which the person has put the I Ching. He looks at it as a sacred text embodying absolute truths that must not be questioned. This attitude keeps him from discovering how he can learn from the alive consciousness that speaks through it, and from putting what he learns to use in his life. Receiving this line is to make him aware that his attitude has created a fate that is manifested as illness. Line 3, the underbrush is of such abundance that the small stars can be seen at noon. He breaks his right arm, mistake, but no blame. Here, the eclipse of understanding is total. The program installed in a person's psyche by the collective ego is so full of false explanations of the fundamental nature of the cosmos that were the truth so plain as the nose on his face, the person could not see it. The half-truths, which are at the basis of all belief systems, need a huge body of rationales to dismiss the objections common sense would normally make if the person were to look at the belief's basic premises. The rationales distract him from noticing the absurdity of these basic premises. He is likewise prevented from examining these premises by a number of taboos that say he will become guilty if he questioned them. He breaks his right arm refers to a person whose common sense has been made ineffective due to conditioning during his youth. It also refers to inhibitions installed through threat of punishment that have disabled his ability to say the inner no. Thus, he is stuck in the psychic problems created by his belief system. In order to free his common sense, he first needs to free his ability to say the inner no. Then he needs to deprogram the following half-truths and untruths. 1, the poisoned arrow that he was born with original fault/guilt, original sin. 2, the spell saying that the eyes alone can see the truth. 3, the spell that says thinking is superior to feeling. He may ask the sage through the RTCM whether any other spells or poison arrows are contributing to keeping his common sense imprisoned. As long as the person is under the influence of the above-mentioned spells and the poison arrow, he is not consulting the sage at all, but is reading the I Ching as a book of ancient wisdom, extracting from it only that which supports his beliefs. The small star is referred to as seeing everything but the truth. To make sure that he correctly understands what the sage wants to tell him, he needs to use the RTCM. No blame counsels that there will be no more cause for blame if he corrects his way of consulting the I Ching. Line 4. The curtain is of such fullness that the pole stars can be seen at noon. He meets the sage. Blessings. This line can refer to a person who is dying or has died. His death needs to be understood as the end of a fate that he had created by holding to mistaken beliefs about life and death. His death, however, brings the good fortune that with the end of his fate, he is reunited with the cosmic consciousness. What rules is the ultimate unity of the cosmos, which supersedes life and death. This cosmic help comes just when a person recognizes his greatest need for help. What is shown here is the abundant love the cosmos has for everything that is a part of it. It is true that the belief that death eclipses life leads to the eclipse of a person's inner light, but the law of fate precludes that anyone should remain in eternal darkness forever. This mistaken belief is fostered by the collective ego to threaten people into compliance with its moral rules. Line 5, lines are coming. Blessing and fame draw near, fulfillment. Because a person has achieved a correct understanding of the cosmic principle of abundance and has rid himself of his respective mistaken belief, lines of helpers are coming, bringing blessings. Fame here, although wrongly named, refers to the recognition and validation given to a person's true self by the cosmos in the form of material gifts in abundance. Thus, the line states the cosmic principle that inner clarity is the prerequisite to prosperity that endures. This line also addresses the collective ego's idea of blessings. As fame, a person achieves by seeking out other humans with whom he hopes to achieve great deeds. His fault lies in his ambition. This line wants to make him aware that the blessings he has been expecting from the cosmos are not forthcoming because he has created a fate. It can be extinguished if he rids himself of the self-image of the heroic person. Lines are coming can also refer to a person who believes in personal and global prophecies given by fortune tellers or prophets. While each person comes into this life with a set of inner directives symbolized by the pole star, his life is not spelled out in detail or predetermined. Often he will lose sight of his directives, but the adversities created by this make him reflect and pull him back toward them without any guarantee that he will fulfill them. The sage in each person's presence and his personal helper are ever present to help him fulfill those directives, but everything depends upon what he wills himself to do and whether or not he asks for the help available. Lines are coming can refer to the momentary glimpses a person receives throughout his life, which tell him of his destiny. These glimpses enable him to put all the seemingly disparate interests, pursuits, and events of his life into a meaningful perspective. The events have only been waiting to be seen as the perfect preparation to bring his uniqueness to full expression. This perspective shows the ultimate economy of the cosmic way. No experience in a person's life is wasted if he is willing to see everything as a preparation for the final fulfillment of his life in a body. It's about how you see it, how you see your life. Line 6, his house is in a state of abundance. Nevertheless, he screens off his family. He peers through the gate and no longer perceives anyone. For 3 years, he sees nothing, misfortune. Here, abundance refers to a person's arrogant self-image of being the one who did it all. It may be that he sees himself as the virtuous and capable helper who credits himself with the good that has been achieved. He therefore appropriates the cosmic gifts to his personal advantage, using them to his glory or to gain power over others. Misfortune refers to the fate he has created as a consequence. This line can also refer to a person who amasses wealth and power through his contrivance and cleverness. Such a person has stolen his wealth from the cosmos and from nature. Through his blind arrogance and self-absorption, he is described here as no longer perceiving anyone. This and peering through the gate mean that he sees others only as tools to serve his interests. Misfortune, as above, refers to the resulting fate. The words 3 years refer to the spell he has placed on his senses of inner and outer seeing. The person can also receive this line because he is putting a spell on someone else by characterizing him as blindly arrogant, or through envying, peering through the gate, his abundance of wealth, power, or knowledge. By doing so, he also puts a spell on himself. The line can also refer to a person who exploits nature by looking at it as an object, the only purpose of which is to serve his interests. He not only creates a fate for himself, he also puts a spell on the things he exploits. This line can also indicate one who is under an abundance of spells. To rid himself of them, he needs to ask the sage for guidance to identify them. This might involve asking for one or more hexagrams. This line also refers to the person who, although blessed by the cosmos, focuses on negative things and therefore can no longer see things as they truly are. In doing so, he loses his connection with the cosmos, which is the misfortune mentioned. All right, guys, that was, for me at least, a very happy, feel-good episode to know that there is all of this cosmic abundance out there just waiting for all of us. If we place ourselves in harmony with the cosmos, with the already existing infinite and perpetual cosmic harmony and the cosmic principles, which of course we are discussing throughout this series. The 64 cosmic principles of harmony is indeed the I Ching. And I think that, by knowing these principles, we can help ourselves and help everyone else around us very much as well. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe right there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.